Hey guys, Don here. Welcome to the $1,000,000 Minute, where I kind of go over the things that help me get to the $1,000,000 mark and beyond in practice, kind of helping you here. So I want to talk a little bit. I had an interview this morning. It was for a magazine. It was funny. I think they probably Googled my name or something like that, and they came up and they wanted to do an interview about anatomic shoe gear. Once again, if you want to see my shoe buying guide, you can go to centralmasspodiatry.com/blog and pick any of the blogs, and then you'll see my shoe buying guide. But I talked a little bit about the shoe liner test. Now, that is not my invention. That I really heard from the Correct Toes website as an option. But we talked about the shoe liner test, and we talked about like anatomic shoes like topos and ultras. I don't know if they might use my wording to I don't know, probably to sell something. But anyway, it was kind of you feel honored to be interviewed for. It was called, I think it was for Today. That was for one of their websites. Okay, so let's get into the day. Today was a routine day. So the way we do routine, and I actually heard about this, I started doing this, and then I heard about it at a recent AAPPM meeting. And it's the idea of on routine day, you do half-day routine just once a week, and you just put everyone in there. So that's what we do. We double book every 10 minutes, so actually every 20 minutes, so they're 10-minute slots, so there's 6 per hour. And then I usually see patients from 8 a.m. to like 12:30, or the last one was 12:50 to noon. So I saw all those patients, and that's all I really do. Morali does a lot of the scribing for me, my scribe. But I want to talk a little bit about kind of some of the office visits that I was able to do. And so it's not just the routine. I try to get some office visits and orthotics if I can. So let me go over some of the additional stuff. I'm not going to tell you about just the nails. Okay, so there's a patient that had edema bilaterally, so we talked about compression garments, we talked about diuretics, and so that was an office visit for the edema along with the routine care. Another patient came in for routine, but he had also done 2 sessions of Cenza, so I asked about that, how he was doing. Cenza was feeling good. He had found improvement after 2 of them, so this is something. I was just checking on that. Just wanted to let you know that we're not really an office visit. Patient came in just had some dry skin. I really like Amerigel Blue, so something that I recommended he purchase over the counter. Another patient came in for nail care. Been seeing him for a while. He had a concern for nail fungus, so we talked about nail fungus treatment options, took a nail sample. And then for this one, I'm starting not to see people back for nail samples. I'm starting to just see the positive ones back, the negative ones. I don't want to have those office visits. They're kind of the lower office visit, whereas I prefer just the ones where I'm going to do something. Another patient that came in, this was a patient that had chemotherapy and had neuropathy due to that, so I was able to do an office visit. This is a patient I haven't seen for a while, and that's why we put them in. We just did nail care, but I had an office visit due to the chemotherapy-induced neuropathy. Another patient with routine, they potentially would benefit from Cenza, so I checked Cenza, okay? And a lot of these ones, they did diabetic foot exams. A lot of them got ABIs. So ABIs are the circulatory studies that I do. The way I do it for diabetics is everyone over the age of 50, I do it once a year. And everyone over the age of 70, I do it do it as well without diabetes. Okay. Another patient came in. She had a condition on her left foot. She's a 78-year-old with a reduced fat pad and kind of like a bursitis. She didn't have time to deal with it, but I talked about the bursa, talked about the treatment options. I'm going to see her back at another time to evaluate that. And she also had a diabetic foot exam, and we ordered a circulatory study. I tend to do the circulatory studies the same time I do my diabetic foot exams. That's the way I kind of remember things. Okay. In my diabetic foot exams, I usually do the month before or the month after their birthday month. That's kind of how I do it to make it easy. So, for example, her birthday was in November, so I usually do it November, December, or October, November, December. If I would see her within that 3-month window, I do a diabetic foot exam just so I can remember. That's the easiest way. There's another patient that he had a pruritic plaque, almost like a psoriatic plaque on the bottom of his feet. I've previously given him calcipitronol. Anyway, it's just like it's a steroid, an analog to help with. I'm not much derm, so I don't know that. Sorry, but I gave him, it didn't work, and I sent him to dermatology. So he had a really bad plaquey thing on the bottom of his foot, and it didn't work with what I was giving him. So I referred. I'm just concerned that would create a fissure and maybe a infection. So that was an office visit for that. Kind of something I do for my oldest patients. I had a 101-year-old and a 102-year-old today. I tend to give them a gift. I give them like the oldest patient of the day gift. So I give them a water bottle. I have some free like socks or water bottle, whatever they want. I give them. I just kind of like to treat them well. Another thing I do also, if you don't know, if you haven't heard it before, on routine days, I put on oldies music. So they kind of like that. They like to listen to the oldies music. Another patient came in a couple of people wanted like shoe prescriptions, just the way I do shoes these days. I do not do shoes. We used to. Nothing against people that do shoes. I just didn't think that the juice was worth the squeeze in terms of, not just in terms of the shoes, but all the returns. And it was probably our fault. We didn't have a great person doing it. My staff really aren't interested in doing it. We don't really want to cater to diabetics, so that's why we don't do it. If you do it, that's great. We just don't. But I used to send to something called Quantum, which was like a place where they went to their house. I thought it was a great idea. Quantum Medical Supply, they went to people's house. They had a cool website. It's called No Cost Diabetic Shoes, and they had shoe fitters that went in there. But the problem is they dropped the ball. Like they didn't go. They didn't follow up with the patients. And so I really, there's only one place around that does diabetic shoes. Like if someone wanted to do shoes and really good job at it, they could make a killing around here. The only place is a pharmacy in Marlboro, because not many of the podiatrists are doing, and I don't want to be known for that. That's why I don't do that. So anyway, that was the day for me. Kind of a quicker one today because it was only half day, so I'm going to take the other half day off. Okay, we'll talk to you guys next time. If you have any other tips for your routine care, like to make it more profitable or efficient, please let me know. Send me an email, Donna at podiatrypracticemastery.com. Okay, thanks.